Hey, we're live, guys. Hello, everyone. It's Don here from Esports News UK. Thanks very much for joining us today. Got some extra special guests, some UK League of Legends champions joining me today. We've got Hadow and Rifty, players from MnM Gaming, and we've got FrozenDawn, head coach as well. So, thanks very much for joining us, guys.
Hola. Pleasure to be here.
Cool. Okay. So first up, guys, this gaming house you're in now, I think it's great. You guys are boot camping together, and it's a new experience for you, right? So maybe you can start by telling us what it's been like so far, what the house is like. What's it been like living with each other for the first time for a few weeks?
I mean, Rifty and Hadow have been in the house together for like a week, so I think they should probably maybe they should start.
Personally, I think it's great. Like, it's fun. Like, it's everything that you could imagine. That's what it is. Like, I personally think it's fun. Like you interact with each other over online, and now it's in the house. It's different. I don't know. It's just everything better.
Cool. And Rifty, how about you? Have you found this? Have you figured out who your clothes thief is yet?
No. One of these though. But no, it's been quite fun, you know. It's been quite interesting seeing everyone in person, spending time with them all. Like, it's a lot different, obviously, living in the house with them than just speaking to everyone online.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun as well. We're going to get some food tonight and have some fun, you know. Just a good time to wind down and relax tonight, which obviously you can't do online.
Nice. And how's it sort of been, you know? Who's taken on the role of cleaner and cook and things like that? Is that, or water boy? Will, are you the water boy still?
I drink a lot of tea myself, so whenever I'm drinking tea, I like offer, I guess. But I think Rifty's a bit of a clean freak. Hadow is not. So Rifty will often.
If my mum heard you say that,
I mean, my desk is clean. Come on.
I mean, yeah, your desk is clean, but like, you know, I mean. We just kind of clean up as we go, right? So it's kind of fine. And then Daniel, who's like managing the house, essentially does like any sort of miscellaneous activity that sort of needs to be done. But so far, it's not like there's been like tons of mess or anything. So to be honest, it's been pretty good. Like,
good to hear, guys. And so, like, you know, you guys have been together on the team now for quite a while. Tell us about the sort of journey. You know, you've gone from being on Manalite together and you know, despite some really good performances, you guys finished second to Renegades Banditos last year a couple of times, and then Manalite folded. But through it all, you know, you guys are still stuck together. You're still here, you're sort of like through thick and thin. Why do you think that's the case? You know, do you feel like you guys have got something special going on with MnM, or am I getting too ahead of myself and with the Challenger Series Qualifiers around the corner?
I mean, I think, at least from my perspective, like we've found something that works to an extent, right? So with Manlight, when Rob and I were kind of building the team, we just got a roster of sort of top UK talent that was merged together and just coached together, and like when it played together, I think it just sort of molded right well. So I think those links, those bonds have kind of continue to stay. So, you know, with regards to like most recently the ESL Prem, you know, I got a message from MnM being like, well, hey, we'd like you to coach at the sort of last bit of the tournament. And it was because they clearly, you know, had this very good working relationship essentially, and it's no different here in CSGO, right? So I think it's just that essentially that happens where it's left.
Will, can I just say, as Munchables has pointed out as well, he said you sound like a bit of a ghost in Twitch chat. So, Hadow, I don't know if you can mute your mic when Will's talking. It might be a pain.
I can try.
What are you doing, Rick?
nothing.
All right.
Yeah, I can try and do that. See how it goes.
Yes.
You can't see that on screen, Rick.
But then obviously just remember to turn your mic back on.
Yeah.
When you're talking.
Let us
What's
know if
Rifty
it's,
up to, Will?
Nothing.
We have a board of our secret strats, and he just put it on stream. But,
Okay.
You can't see it because of the way the light works. So I think he's trolling. But if you go back into your seat, what the hell? See, these bonobos, you know.
While he's away, Will, I wanted to ask as well. You turned down other sort of Challenger Series offers, right, to stay with MnM. Why? What influenced that decision?
it was a few things. I mean, the offers, like, they were definitely good. But for me, there was, I essentially I wasn't with MnM for the ESL Prem Finals when I was doing the stuff with Schalke, and obviously the thing with Schalke didn't like strictly work out. And then at the same time, I kind of regretted not being with MnM for the finals, despite the fact they did well without me anyway, so it's not too bad. But for me, I think what MnM has been doing, and all of the sponsors with them, like from Stormforce to like ESL's helped out and things like this, like everyone's sort of come together to make this happen, and I wanted to be a part of it. Like I didn't want to miss out on it just for one slight step up in my own sort of personal career. I wanted to do the best I could to essentially make it happen, and in that sense, like it was just something I wanted to be a part of, really. And so I turned down offers so that I could do it, really. And like sort of that's just sort of what it is, really. I just wanted to do the best I could to sort of help the scene, help the team, help the people behind it, such like that.
Yeah, cool. And can I ask what it was like for you guys last year playing against the Banditos and seeing them become Misfits and head into the LCS? Do you ever think, oh man, that could have been us? How does that inspire you to try and get into the Challenger Series even more?
I think the skill disparity might have been a bit too great to say that it could have been us, because I think they're like Maxlow and Elfari, like they were just too strong of a combo for us to like, oh, it could be us, because he really couldn't. I think at that point.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Even now, look, they announced recently they come back together again. So clearly, it's something's really clicking with them if they stay together.
What do you think about that as well? Do you think that's good for the UK scene? Like Max Law was asked about this the other day in an interview with The Score, I think it was, and he was saying, he thinks it's a good thing. You have that sort of the UK scene backing them.
I mean, it's definitely not a bad thing, right? Like, it can't be a bad thing.
Definitely.
So.
And I think as well, like I know that some other UK players are going to be in Challenger Series and LCS next split as well. Like I don't think their rosters are announced, but like I know these players will be, and I think it just in general it helps when people like in Reddit comments recently about like the MnM Gaming house. A lot of people have been mentioning things like, but the UK doesn't really have much talent or something like this, and I think just having players in the LCS and in the Challenger Series. It simply proves that statement wrong, right? So it's got to be a good thing, right? And like obviously, I think Maxwell and Alfari will do a fantastic job together. They are a great duo and they have a lot of respect for each other. So, I just don't see how it could ever be bad. Like I guess unless they like completely flopped or something. But even then, like it's what's that whole any publicity is good publicity or whatever. So I guess it's got to be a good thing.
Cool. And on that note, do you guys feel any extra added pressure going into the qualifiers, because you're representing the UK in the European tournament, and to have the eyes of the UK scene watching you?
I mean, I guess but any pressure from me, I feel it's always kind of been self-imposed. So, I give myself an aim and an objective, and I just, I put on as much pressure as I do to myself to make myself achieve it. But I don't know how it feels for the players, right? So I'm not sure if they think that this whole UK scene's watching them. Like, I mean, I guess I don't know. Hadow, Rifty, do you feel more pressure that the eyes of the UK is
especially
not really pressure, because for example, last Challenger Series qualifier, there was a lot of issues that happened, and I don't know. I don't feel pressured. I feel like we have a good chance here, and then if you make it, we make it, and if you do well, we do well. I think that's the objective, just to do well and show what we can do.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think just sort of add to it. I think, in a sense, I think we all feel pride to be part of what's going on in this thing. Like it's very daring from the point of view of MnM to actually set up this gaming house and establish a kind of sponsorship and actually sort of go through with it. It's the sort of thing that it literally is the first time this has ever happened, right? Other than maybe Dignitas UK many years ago. So. And even then, I'm not sure if it was on the same sort of scale. I don't know, I wasn't around kind of. But essentially, I mean, I think it's I don't know, I think that's 10 years ago or whatever. So it is a huge step in UK League of Legends, and I think the pressure that does amount is because we know that if things were to go terribly wrong, I feel that could affect how the scene grows or develops in this context for a bit. But if things go very well, then again, so I guess I feel that to an extent, but. From an actual performance point of view, you sort of, I guess, get on to do your job, right? So,
as long as we show up and do the best that we possibly can, I don't really care what the results end up being.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask about that. Firstly, let's look at your opposition. I know the groups haven't been decided yet, but I'm just going to bring up some of the teams here on stream. So, what do you guys think of the competition? You know, you've got Kingwin MnM in there. You've got Kasing's team, RB, Singularity. You've got KIYF from the Spanish scene, and Polite and Mature who came in from Ragnarok. You know, what are your thoughts on the competition? Do you think you have a good shot?
I feel like this is sort of a player's question, really. They're the ones that actually they have to play, right? So
you can answer that, Rifty.
Oh, okay. Forced on me, is it?
The easy one, man.
Oh yeah, totally. That's why you're forcing it off. Out of all the teams, like Kasing's is obviously viewed as being the hardest. Whether or not that will turn out to be true, we'll see. They definitely have a few weaknesses, but overall, I think it's going to be pretty fun, to be honest. Like, I don't see us having major issues against any team, but I also don't see us destroying any team particularly. You know, especially since there hasn't exactly been a great deal of games for a lot of these teams, for like the Red Bull Kasing's team, whatever you want to call it. We've only seen a few games of them in the open qualifiers against, well, let's be honest, slightly subpar teams quite often, you know?
Yeah.
So it's sort of hard to ascertain their real strength, isn't it?
I think as well, you know, with the new patch, like a lot can... So, you know, I wouldn't say we're favourites to win or anything like that, but, you know, the nature of the series is best of one on the new patch with currently no professional games being played on it. So, in a sense, all we know of like what is or isn't good is from scrims or like talking and figuring out ourselves, and then obviously like solo queues. So, you know, one team, maybe us, may not be, might have like a specific grasp on a certain like pick or certain way to play the game that actually gives like a colossal edge on every other team there. And so in a sense, like I feel like it's a bit more up in the air than it would be, but like obviously there's a lot of good talent out there in this tournament, as well as like practice like veteran team, well not necessarily veteran teams, but like veteran players, as well as like they've all got coaching staff and stuff like this. So like I wouldn't want to put like a percentage on our chance to win, but at the same time, in a sense, I certainly think it's like all to play for.
Yeah, definitely. And are there any teams you're particularly looking forward to playing or want to avoid? Or are you just treating it as a sort of equal thing and just playing each match as it comes?
I guess MnM and Kingwin are like most likely to be the best teams, just like on paper.
Well, I mean,
series, but
probably Kasing's team too, right? Like they did pull out some weird picks in the open qualifier, so you never know what they might pull out. So you don't really want to get cheesed in the best of one. So
who can out cheese? Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Cool. And
well, I think those three teams. Yeah.
Cool. So, what are your aims and ambitions then? Like Rifty, you touched on this. You were saying you don't really care too much. You just want to go out there, play the best you can, and just enjoy it, right?
Yeah. Anything beyond that, don't really have any expectations for, really, because I don't really think there's anything more that you can do beyond that, really. If you've given it your best, you've tried your hardest. There's not particularly much more you can do, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to go into this and smash group stages, destroy everyone, not lose a game. But if that's not what our skill level can do, and so be it. We'll just have to carry on improving, focusing, practicing, and all that until we do that, really.
It's true. I think as well, because it's like I'm not sure where the expectation falls either from like, you know, fans or the scene or anything, because I don't think anyone knows quite what to expect from it. Like, I don't think anyone's going in being like, oh, these guys are going to smash it, you know, because it's not like it's obvious. So in that sense, like, yeah, we have a lot of room to breathe. We just kind of touched on previous question before, where it's kind of pressure. You know, it's not like we're, you know, when we play in the UK scene, I feel like we have pressure to come first because we know that we can achieve it and that we're kind of favourites to achieve it most often. Yeah. But in this, it's kind of different. So it's a different setting for us in that sense as well. So. Yeah, but I think aims and ambitions. Well, I think Rifty sort of hit it on the head. Really, everyone kind of wants to prove themselves doing a good job, but I'm not sure, like, how it compares.
What about yourself, Hadow, as well? Because you obviously played last year with Team Larson. Did you think you'll have more of an impact than Team Larson did last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we have an actual bootcamp, actual coaching staff. Because like last time it was more of like a, you know, put together roster like a couple days before because due to a lot of issues that we had. So like I think we should do better. I mean, if we don't do better, then. But I still think we'll do much better. Because again, we have the game, the boot camp. Everyone's preparing for it. So, and we'll scout out the teams since we already know who the teams are. So we're just waiting for the group stages to be released.
Yeah.
Sure. And so looking at your roster then, guys, you know, you've got Larson mid and I don't know actually how to pronounce the ADC's name. Is it Ludes?
Ludes,
yeah.
McCree. It's McCree. Ludes McCree.
And you've got Candy Floss in the jungle as well. So how do you feel you play together as a team? You know, do you feel this is like one of the best sort of rosters you've had in terms of like the synergy in your performances?
I think I'm not sure if this roster is better than the Manlight roster in one sense. Like I think it's quite different, but I'm not sure if it's better. But synergy wise, like I think playstyle wise, it works quite well. And like mainly in practice, we're just working on like comms and synergy, like specifically because we were a bit rusty when we first came back. We only had sort of a week and a bit of scrim, so we've been working like specifically on those issues, just to sort of keep them, like get rid of that, so we can focus much more on the sort of strategy side of things a bit later on. But I don't think there's. I think it's quite hard to compare like the two teams in general, like how much better it is because people have different like peaks and troughs anyway. So if during one split one player is playing out of his mind, but playing in a certain way in a certain meta that allows them to carry, then like in a sense it kind of warp what exactly is going on like in the team, right? So
yeah. And I'm interested in seeing what kind of roles you guys have in the team as well. I don't mean which roles on the Rift, which lanes, but who's the shot caller, who's the joker of the team, how do you sort of get on? Who, if you could go through each player, what would you say their role is on the team?
Do you want me to do this, or like...
Yeah.
Do you know your own role?
Well, I think you know the best of each player, right?
Yeah, probably. Hadow is like... let me think. Like the most, like he calls a lot, but he's also pretty like calm and mellow with situations. He kind of just like maintains his neutrality throughout the whole thing. Like he doesn't get too hyped, but doesn't get too down as well. So I guess he's like an anchor in that sense. Ludes is generally pretty quiet, but like constructive wise, he will be willing to like put an input, be like, oh yeah, we should have done this, this, and this. But he's coming to house tomorrow, I think, actually. So like that'll be very interesting to actually work with him like in person. Larson, kind of similar to Lucas, actually, in a sense. The only difference is that he's a bit more like forceful with his opinion. So it can be a good bad thing. Like if he thinks something's right, like he will tell you again and again. Whereas like, so I don't know how to like, but like I mean everyone jokes a lot. So from those two players as well. Candy does a lot of talking, and I guess like mainly lead strategy as well. From a point of view of like this is probably what we should be doing, this is what we should be playing, this is what we should be practicing. And we just sort of like instigate discussion, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And Rifty talks tons in game, always looking for opportunities and like trying to keep the team moving forward, so whether we're winning or losing. And then it's pretty like flexible with regard to like champion, the way he plays. And then I would say that all the players are pretty like have a good understanding of comedy to an extent. Whether it's the kind of comedy you can actually say on broadcast is completely different.
Very different, really.
Yeah, that was being polite. But like everyone's willing to joke, and I mean, I've only been in the house now for like a day and a half, and like we've laughed pretty much non-stop for like the whole time, just because the way just the way you talk about things, and like everyone kind of wants to get along and have a good time, so everyone's putting in the like sort of extra effort to make sure that happens, and trying to be more sociable and all this kind of thing. So that'd be my, I guess, brief breakdown of each player.
I didn't know Candy Floss too much before he joined MnM, but he seems to have come out with a lot of a few witty remarks and things and smack talk. Can we expect more of that from him and you guys around the Challenger Series qualifiers?
Yeah, he's a big troll. Yeah, I think he's just his approach to social media and that sort of thing is just like that. He's happy to sort of make a scene or make a name for the sake of like banter or whatever you want to call it, right? So I imagine like that's very likely to continue happening, really. Hopefully, I mean, I think it's a bit I don't know. Like if it's a bit different, whereas like in the UK scene, he was very confident because he kind of knew he was the best jungler there, and maybe that's what brought it out, or whether in CSQ would be different. But yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to find out.
Sure, and I want to ask a little bit about Will and some of the quotes that have come out describing Hadow recently. So Will, you said on Twitter recently that Hadow is the epitome of both fame and infamy, the greatest of the greats, a walking legend, a myth incarnate. You could say he is a god. And Reese has said, if anyone's the depiction of sunshine, it's got to be Hadow. So what spawned these quotes? You know, if Hadow's a god, what has he done to warrant that in your eyes, Will?
Probably int bot lane. No, so I think the first one is definitely a troll. So he is I mean, the fame and infamy thing, like, you know, he's pretty infamous in solo queue as far as I understand. You know, that's true. Everyone knows Hadow. Hadow's supposed to. Yeah, exactly. So this is, I think, where that came from. The reference to sunshine, I think, is just because, you know, very round face, always has a smile on it. Kind of reminds you of the thing with the Teletubbies, you know, the sunshine. Where it's like, I don't know.
Will, someone's going to be turning that into a picture now at some point, probably.
I hope so. There's actually Reese retweeted Solera Restore from Dark Souls. You know, what glorious incandescence, praise the sun, and then replaced the face with Hadow. I think I retweeted it as well. So like, if anyone actually wants to find that,
we should delete that tweet.
It's saved already. So Reese was the one who was photoshopping that. So yeah, I think it's just, and to be fair, he does have this kind of approach where like he is always sort of positive, and like, I don't know, like I came down this morning because he was sort of first one awake, and I came down and he was like, you know, like not in like a cheesy way, good morning, but he was always like, oh, you know, I don't know, he was just like, oh, caring, I don't know, like, oh, how did you sleep, like, oh, what was this, oh, we're doing this and this, you know, instantly chatty and stuff. So he's like a ray of sunshine through the team. Yeah.
Cool. And Hadow, what do you think of all this? Are you happy with how your teammates and the scene have sort of depicted you?
It's fine. I mean, it's not a negative crying. It's a positive. So I'm just taking positive parts out of it.
See what I mean? See what I'm saying? You know,
it is. It's positivity. That's good.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys what it's like being a part of MnM as well? Because from a journalist point of view, I'm not just saying this, but it seems like a very well run org. You know, compared to some of the other UK orgs out there. What's it like being part of the MnM family, so to speak?
In the years of my UK career, MnM is by far the best UK org you could want or have. Like what they say, they do. Like what what you need, they will try and provide it. If they can't, they look for alternatives. Like there's never an issue, like when you had with previous organizations such as like Choke or like Perilous. You know, like you always had issues with somewhere. But with MnM, like there's no issue with the organization parts. Like they're always really supportive. They're always really helpful, or whatever you need. Like they still help like people like Smiley and stuff. You know, if anything you need, like regarding like legal stuff or anything, like to still help everyone. They're really really nice guys.
And they always seem to go from like above and beyond with things. You know, even like random things I mentioned as a coach. Like, oh, actually, it'd be really handy to have like a whiteboard, for example, to take notes. Like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, you know, if I need to be recording and streaming scrims, like I'm going to need something more than just my laptop. And they've got these like, you know, I'm coaching. I have this like insane Stormforce Geo PC that's like worth fantastic amount of money and like functions well above what I need it to, but it doesn't. You know, they're like, yep, look, this is what we're getting you because
you're worth it.
The best. Yeah, thanks. But like, you know, so I don't know. It's that kind of thing where that's kind of how it feels to like work with them, where it's like, oh, fantastic. You know, they actually are genuine and genuinely putting the effort as well, and like they're pretty smart as from like a business point of view as well. So they're not going to take sort of any shit from anyone. They kind of know what their approach is. They know their aim towards things, and
yeah,
I think that fills me with confidence, at least from my perspective. But
so tell us a bit about the house in terms of. So you got these PCs, guys. Have you got any other things that have been provided by sponsors? Will any hair care providers or anything like that? Maybe.
Wow. Stormforce hasn't provided me with a hairbrush, so I'm actually going to write to them a formal letter of complaint. I'm probably going to resign as well from MnM. By the way, Daniel, consider this my resignation. So no, I don't have any hair care products. Thanks, guys. Beard, however, no. I think I mean, yeah, like gear-wise, I mean, I guess the players are playing on it more than me, right? So I mean, we have our own mice, but
You've got your personalized
but we have our own personalized mouse mat, which is. I mean, even I get one.
What, with your name on it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna tweet about it. Like, it's gonna become my profile picture. This is gonna be great. Our screens are like 144 Hz, of course. Even as a code, I don't need this, but like, it's beautiful. You know, and I hope I play on a laptop, so it's like the greatest change to my life. I don't think I can go back at the end of May, and I think I will probably just, abandon all hope. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss it greatly. I've been here a day, and I'm already planning to miss it.
How's it been streaming as well? Because I know have all the players, Hadow and Rifty, have all the players been streaming? How have you found that so far?
Only Rifty streams. So
yeah, I'm the only one who streams, so.
But there's only me and Hugh here so far, so.
Hadow's too camera shy to stream.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. He can't handle the fame.
It's insecure.
That's fine.
Completely
You're on
insecure.
camera now, Hadow, at least. So.
Oh, it's a drag.
Yeah, what happened with that video the other day, by the way? You put out the what was it? The true or false game. What happened at the start there? I felt clickbaited, guys. I'm the clickbaiter, and I felt cheated.
I had no involvement in that.
That means we got you good. Like that's exactly what the video is supposed to have to do.
I'm so confused. What?
So basically,
the false one.
The true or false one with Hadow and Rifty. Hadow's in it for 30 seconds.
And then I just zoned out.
Yeah, you were replaced by Daniel, right? One of the co-founders of MnM.
Yeah. I mean, if you keep inting scrims, I'll replace with Daniel in game as well. So Sorry.
Is that Daniel Winton?
No, Hadow.
Oh, okay. Oh, Hadow.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes it happens, there's not much you can do about it.
You get moved down.
Hopefully not in CSGO, am I right?
Yeah, scrims don't translate to real games, guys.
What's it been like in the house producing all the content as well? Because that's new for you guys, right? What can we expect? Are there any sort of before the stream, Rifty? You're on Tinder or something, using league chat up lines. What can we expect there? That sounds quite interesting.
Holy moly!
I think we're actually aiming to do a video on that, aren't we? Like,
I think
the league chat up lines on Tinder. We want to do a video on it, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah. We have Reese in the house who's doing pretty much like he actually works insanely, by the way. Like, I had no idea, but he's been sitting there like every minute he's there just like editing videos. But he's just trying to do player profiles, this like Tinder meme thing, and then I think we're going to do sort of the journey through CSQ and then like interactive things sort of in between.
Yeah, just a bunch of funny video stuff to do.
I think there's if I remember as well, there's a video about like our journey through the ESL Prem, like the actual like LoL finals as well, like with the finals against NX.
I think so. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's getting released soon. Like, I'm not sure the date, but I'm sure it'll be tweeted, out soon.
Yeah. So
there's all of this basically, and we actually rewatched the finals against NX or bits of it when it was being edited by Reese, which was a good laugh. So no flame, but
I was just going to say actually about the. Is that the ESL finals you were talking about?
Yeah, like I don't know, like a month and a bit ago, or whatever. Yeah.
I was going to say, what are your sort of reflections on that, guys? Did you expect Xenix to take a game? Did it play out how you expected, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not very much more you can add to that, really, is there? It's just.
Well, I turned up for the weekend, but
like,
it's. I mean, the players seemed confident. Like, I think. So I
think we expected to win 3-0 or 3-1. So like, it's either one was come first or 3-0 came first. I guess they were tilted by game 3 already because they had some different play style compared to the first 2 games. But I guess they tried to spice it up a bit, but that didn't work out.
No.
Yeah. Okay. And Rifty, when I did the preview video with you before, at the time, I know there was a lot of banter in that, but now I see it as a troll. You were saying, "Oh, we're going to get smashed 3-0, easy."
Part of it felt like we were going to that. It wasn't completely troll. Yeah, it was just stereotypical pre-game jokes and fun, really, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much anything could have happened, I suppose. Like,
I think from my perspective, I didn't follow the Prem, right? So I did, but I wasn't coaching in it. But,
yeah.
So the finals, the sort of way I saw it was we had better players in pretty much each role, from an experience point of view as well as actual skill. So even if you would contest skill, experience would still come in. And then I know the team practiced really hard prior to it because they actually really wanted they really wanted this, and we never properly met them before. So it was, from my perspective, I was like, okay, I know what happens when these 5 players try hard, and they're all more experienced, so they won't have stages or anything like this, and they're kind of better players individually. So in my head, the way in which we would lose would be
we beat ourselves.
We'd be incredibly tilted, or something insane happened that it was just but realistically that's why I sort of went myself with a 3-0, 3-1 thought, where it's just because I couldn't see what it would be that would lead to us losing, essentially. But I think they sort of the first game was good, if I remember, and then I think the second and third games were sort of slightly more one-sided. But I think by then you get a lot of pressure on you, and if you're new to the stage and stuff, that can all come in. But yeah,
sure. And I know it's probably too early to ask, but if beyond the CSQs, where do you see MnM guys? Obviously, if you get in, hopefully you're going to stick together. Do you envisage many roster changes, or if you get knocked out early, where do you see MnM next?
Where do we see MnM next?
I mean, you never know, because if you look at MnM a year ago, we never thought that you could be here. So maybe if you win, maybe you'll get in. Maybe MnM will be in LCS in a year. Who knows?
The MnM owners are very hardworking. I'm sure they'll do something regardless of what happens.
I think as well, if because obviously the team is looking for next ESL Prem, and then obviously UK Masters as well. So, but it will always be the case with roster changes that you have no idea. One of these players might get an insane offer and leave, and then that in turn, let's say it was one of the UK players, then suddenly we have to look for another UK player in a set position, which can throw off this 3 UK, 2 European situation. And then anything like this. I mean, anything like this can just sort of happen. One player doing this or even suggesting it can then throw. So I think it's just going to be the case that once again, the roster will be, sort of crushed down and then built back up. But it's very likely that because MnM has created such a good sort of reputation for themselves, and has the likeliness is right that if this gaming house thing is so far is going very well, if it continues to do this, then it's very likely this is going to be something that MnM can possibly offer for the next split. I mean, it's not me confirming or anything. It's just I'm saying that from a player's perspective, you've got to think, okay, this org's done this. What's to say they won't do that again, or they won't do it more, won't do it better, bigger and better, etc. So out of all the UK orgs, they've shown the most potential by a million miles, which I think in turn will attract European players and UK talent. So in that sense, I think there's sort of I guess a lot of desire for people to be on this team and for this team to continue its run, because since for a long time now it's kind of been at the top of the UK, or at least top 2 of the UK, right? So
yeah, I mean, I think it's a really positive thing. So I interviewed Brit Saint, the owner of Enclave Gaming, the other week, and he said to me, I said, where do you want to be? And he's like, we want to rival MnM. We want to get to a point where we can rival MnM, and that's a positive thing, right? Because you're part of the scene, you're part of that ecosystem, and you're encouraging other people to get to your level. I know some people joke sometimes, UK scene,
Yeah.
But we have shown that there's positives from the UK scene. The Banditos, I know they only have 2 UK players now, but they still got to the LCS through the ESL Prem, right? So what are your guys' thoughts on the state of the UK scene at the moment? Riot are opening a new office in London. They're hiring a bunch of sort of esports staff. Do you feel we're on the up a little bit now?
I mean,
yes.
I mean,
but definitely on the up, right? You said the the Riot office in London. Like
pretty much anything's better than what we had before.
Yeah, and also like MnM, like I feel like the MnM like doing this this bootcamp thing, for example, I don't know, say the next split doesn't work out for us or something, you know, like they set like this expectational standards for other like organizations, like okay, so MnM did the last split, they did this bootcamp, hopefully we can do this split as well, and then if that happens, the next split after, you know, like it's just basically setting the standard and making the scene go better, essentially, grow faster. Which is what we want. I think that's what a lot of people like discuss. Oh, what's the problem with the UK scene and this or that? And I think MnM has shown like how to do it properly. And I think just always seem to follow them, and not like behind, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Do you think if you play in the ESL Prem again, who do you think are your biggest rivals? Because it's hard to say, right? Rosters change a lot, but have Xenix been your closest rivals in a while? Who do you see that could have potential in the future?
I mean, with how unstable the UK scene is, we don't even know of any teams, you know? Like, literally anything could happen,
ESL hasn't even been announced yet, right? The dates, or have they? So I think like the rosters are slowly accumulating for UK Masters, and it's obviously very plausible to assume that there's people who, Enclave's team for UK Masters will be the same team that runs the Prem, right? I mean, So at this point, like, I'm just kind of waiting to see the first week of UK Masters, which is 3 days away?
Yeah, next week. Yeah, May 15th.
The first qualifier.
So that's what I mean, the first qualifier. And then at this point, like, I haven't heard any rumours of any big names turning up or anything like this, but, you know, it's possible. And there are other UK players, of course, who currently aren't, like, didn't play the last UK split, so like Fury and Deadly, Toaster, etc. Who in theory, if they were to come back for UK Masters or whatever, could then suddenly spice everything up again. So at this point, like, I don't think there's anyone in particular, but I'm kind of like sure there will be. I feel like it's just always going to be the case that, like, they'll, because when UK Masters comes back in, you have Prem and Masters, which basically overlap each other, and like financially for players, it's kind of worth playing, right? So I think there will be sort of again once like an influx of talent coming back into the UK now that Masters has been announced, because it wasn't announced for last split and the talent kind of left, some of it at least, obviously, but then I think it was just going to come back again for this split. That's just my thoughts there. It's not like I'm confirmed or anything like that.
Yeah. And you mentioned Furion and Toaster, guys. Are you still in touch with people like that? Furion, Smiley went off to the Spanish scene. How's it been for those guys? Because I did an article on the Spanish scene recently, and one of the co-founders of the LVP shared it, and I had loads of people talking in Spanish, not knowing what they were saying properly. But it seems to have a lot of buzz about it, the Spanish scene. You know, what are your thoughts with some of your players that have been over there? Have they enjoyed it?
I mean, as far as I know, like Smiley enjoyed it. Luke enjoyed it as well. Deli's still in it. Like, I guess Toaster kind of like left. I'm not sure like exactly what happened there, but maybe like because like you recently posted Twitter that he got top 10 and is looking for like teams. So I guess he's looking to go to LCS instead of like a Spanish scene, which is fair play to him. But like I mean, as far as I know, like again from Deadly, Luke, and Smiley, like they enjoy the time. Like it's really fine. Like a lot of the teams have gaming houses, so and wouldn't be surprised if like the Spanish scene becomes like the next like Turkish scene, like it becomes in development to LCS essentially, because Turkish and Spanish is different, because it's like Spanish is ESL, we could say more or less, but Turkish is more LCS, like right side. So like I think that's the next big step for them. Maybe that's where UK can pick it up as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see the UK learn from the Spanish scene. I know it's very different, and they've compared casters and things like that, but just the setup, the way it's set up, and actually the sponsors, how the sponsors get involved, they have that branding with the teams, don't they? G2 Vodafone and things like that. Orange, sponsor the league, and it seems to be a bit of a step above the UK scene, The
only thing I sort of would add though, is that, so I don't know, it was like season 3 when Riot split away from doing majors and started doing the LCS system, right? Something like season 3 or the end of season 2, I think. And this is like a big difference, right? So you go from this like league system and away from the major system, but like there was a lot of critics about it. So like the league system is probably more stable, but then there's a lot more hype on the whole like LAN system. And the UK at this point So obviously ESL is doing a fantastic job at the Prem, like 100%, of course. But with iSeries being like such a major gaming event, and then with UK Masters, then like combining with that, I do wonder if the UK scene will, become more like major based with sort of big individual tournaments that have like a mini setup to them. I know that UK Masters has like a Premiership, but I do wonder if it's going to become like more major focused with massive tournaments, or whether it'll be like the ESL Prem itself will sort of dominate, and then everything else becomes smaller. Like, I mean, I'm not sure which one I'd prefer or anything like that. It's just it was just a thought I sort of had where that could be the case, where like the league system is good, it's working in Spain and Turkey and such, but then we actually might become much more sort of big tournament oriented. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see what happens. I know that ESL commented about the fact you guys have a boot camp and saying it's a good step forward for the UK, and it'd be great to see more boot camps in the future. So just coming to the end then, guys, just a couple more things. If anyone has any questions in the Twitch chat has been a little bit quiet. Any questions, send them through now and we'll try and get them added on. Munchables made the point earlier saying that when we was talking about you, Hadow, that he has a lot of Smurfs for sure. What is going on with all this Smurf stuff? How many of these people are saying they're a Hadow Smurf now? And what's it been like for you?
I think at some point we had up to like 20 people. Like just change. Like it was like Hadow Smurf, like all in capitals. It was Hadow Smurf v number. Like you can choose any number that you want. And I think we had like up to 19 from one, but you also had like some other numbers that people chose to. And what happened was it's like so basically like, me and Smiley were on TeamSpeak and we were playing together, and he wanted to change his name because he got one of Smurfs names, and I was just like, oh, just become my Smurf. And so basically, so he became like Hadow Smurf, and then we were like, let's make more of us. So we literally just like asked friends of friends to just change names, and then like it just became me. But now there's a lot of us, or was a lot of us. It's kind of dying down a bit.
What's the reaction been as well? Because have you had any people talking to you, messaging you, and you're thinking, what the hell is this? So someone's pretended to be your Smurf, done something wrong or weird or inted or something, and then you've had weird reactions from people. Have you had any of that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like when sometimes I get in the champ select and see some people I've never saw before, but they're like, hey, it's you. I've had your Smurf. Like you played really well top lane. I was like, thank you, man.
I actually had an experience, believe it or not. I was playing solo queue at like Diamond, and there was a player whose name was something. It was like Slay Hadow or something like this. I can't remember what the name was. And I was like, oh, do you know Hadow? Like, this is Hadow.
Yeah.
And he replied with, oh, what, the guy with tons of Smurfs in Challenger? And I was like, what? So I messaged Hadow. I'm like, do you know this guy? And he's like, nah. So he actually essentially got a fan in Diamond Elo because this guy obviously checked like the Challenger ladder and was like, oh my god, Hadow has like 20 accounts in Challenger or Master. So that was pretty crazy actually, which was bizarre. But hey, it happens.
And on this note of like weird stuff happening on the ladder and anything, have you had any other weird or funny moments happen? I know Hadow, you had the whole Caps incident, and I wrote a story on that, and it got on Reddit and everything. Have you had any other weird things happening in Solo 2?
No, I mean not as big as that. I mean, because that was special. That's like it's once in a season, you could say.
Highlight of your esports career.
Yeah. No, not really, not much.
Okay, and Rob has said in the chat, can you tell Hadow I'm a big fan? Also tell Rifty that he's beautiful. And hi, Will.
Gorgeous, Rob.
We love.
And hi, Will.
We love Rob.
Hell?
We love Rob.
How come I got hi, Will? Like at iSeries, he had nowhere to sleep, so I was like, sure, you can. I had two beds in my room, and I let him have one, and he replaced me with hi, Will. Well, he's referred to me as Water Boy.
You've become an unlockable character again, Will. I
know, it's actually become really bright outside. Yeah. And as a result, I'm now silhouetted. So unless Reese, the technician, can... Hang on, I could go really close. No. Might be able to change my lighting, but I don't know if it's... Yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Who's that mystery person behind you?
This is Javelin. This is obviously Daniel. He's
Can you get
in charge of the house
in the
co-owner.
cam?
Kneel down so everyone can see you.
There he is. Special guest.
This guy is great. He does everything. He just, yes, no problem. In fact, the players asked him to get Subway earlier, and that was the only time he almost said no, where he was like, well, hang on. Hang on.
How's it been for Javelin while he's there? Can we ask Daniel how it's been in the house? And
He's asking how it's been in the house. Really? Yeah.
Hi Daniel, how you doing?
Good, yeah.
How's it been so far in the house? You know, it's a new experience for you guys. You know, as one of the co-founders, what's it been like in the house? Have there been any funny moments, any standout moments?
There's been sort of very many, as Will sort of said, like we're all like getting along, enjoying each other's sort of company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I very much enjoy Will's company.
A little bit too much, you know.
Much of Will's might get jealous. I know he's watching. It's there have been challenges that are behind the scenes that obviously me and Calvin overcome, but like there's like a lot of things that organisations do you don't never ever see in broad daylight, because like by the time that the challenges passed, we've kind of overcome it. And,
yeah.
We're kind of aware of kind of the significance of the house. It's not just sort of about us. It's like setting a precedent for the scene.
Yeah.
So we've kind of got pressure from that. There's like everyone's kind of got eyes on us in terms of like organisation owners. I heard mention that Enclave are aiming to sort of gun us down, sort of thing. Overall, it's been quite good. It's been really good. Like we've been happy having like one location, to sort of facilitate the things that we do. Like we have Reese helping us out with content, and at sort of like iSeries and all sorts of offline events, it's very difficult to sort of churn out the content that we want, just given how short the time frame is.
Yeah.
Whereas in the house, we've got sort of a studio set up. We can very easily, like if we say wanted something done, we can get it done very quickly. It's more efficient for us to have like a stationary base where we can shoot content from and do things for us. It basically enhances our potential to deliver what we want to do for the scene. And obviously that's also sort of posed new challenges, but it's also opened up sort of new aspirations in that me and Calvin will probably look towards building a more permanent base for MnM, because we can kind of, after spending like 1 or 2 weeks over here, we can sort of see the value of it. Like, if not just for sort of the one team, we can say we can shoot content, we can shoot, we can house players, we could do all sorts from gaming house. There's a lot of value that we can sort of deliver and generate for the scene, just having a base. And obviously, like, we wouldn't be able to sort of do this. I couldn't sort of name drop enough without Stormforce.
I was just going to say, now's probably a good time. I was going to say, if there's anything else you guys want to add, any shout outs, you know, if you're here on the mic, you know, feel free to give us some shout outs. Stormforce have provided your PCs. Is there anyone else you want to thank? Or
well, Stormforce have pretty much provided a majority of the stuff, and obviously Zotac have contributed, and Gamers Apparel are also making pretty serious contributions to the house. Like Will said, everyone's getting their own personalized sort of mouse pads and snapbacks and t-shirts and hoodies. It's everyone's sort of chipping in because they can sort of see the significance of the house.
Yeah.
We've got the PBC coming in next week, so we'll be appearing on the segment.
Cool. PvP Live.
Yeah. Pardon?
Who's
it
that?
It's going to be pre-recorded, but it's still a very significant milestone. So we'll probably. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention.
No, that's fine. Is that sorry? PvP Live, the esports website.
BBC.
Oh, sorry, BBC. Sorry,
sorry.
yeah. No, oh no, that's brilliant, mate.
So
dear.
we're basically trying to get as much sort of exposure
Yeah.
out there.
Well, no, that's great, mate, and it's always brilliant when you see mainstream media. I mean, you guys done stuff with Microsoft recently, right? And that was great because you had the reach of Windows UK.
We're actually looking to invite them over to the house again because they're very keen. They've been very keen to sort of work with the organisation.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry I couldn't make it up as well to you guys. I really wanted to come along with my little one and everything.
I understand with a child.
Yeah, it's quite tricky. If it was London, I think it'd definitely be doable. But it's just a little way out. But is there anything else you guys want to add to end? Rifty, do you want to add anything? Any final words? You've been quiet there.
Yeah, sorry. No,
that's fine.
Hello.
I want to make sure you've got your platform to have your say.
No, I'm just hungry. It's getting to that point of the day where we're all getting a bit peckish. You know? We've discussed going out, having a bit of a laugh, and eating some food. You know.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'll let you guys. On that note, I asked earlier. I can't remember what you guys said. Did you have a set chef or anything, or is it just takeaways every night?
Oh
no, everyone does their own cooking, and Hadow does not do his own washing.
Come on, there's some dishes.
Nah. You cleaned up one bowl today.
I just want to say that Javelin's cooking. He cooked me sea bass, a la something, with like rice and spring onions, cooked in this specific way. It was just.
I just know that our video producer cannot be let into the kitchen.
Yeah, because
he's pretty bad, is he?
I mean, like, I'm not a good chef, but when I give him pointers like that, that's something that's bad.
Well, I did 4 years at uni, so I can cook pasta, and that's about it. But I'll educate you boys, don't worry.
Nice. Okay, guys, I think that's everything. We're pretty much just under an hour, I think. So really good timing. I'm gonna let you get on, have your food. Thank you very much for coming on board. I'll put this video out on YouTube so everyone can watch it and maybe pull a few stories out around your chances in the CSQs. You guys seem confident, which is great. Like you're just going to go for it, have fun, enjoy it. I'll obviously be rooting for you guys, and look forward to seeing how you guys do. I think it starts May 23rd, is it? Challenger Series Qualifiers, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so not long now, and I hope the group should be announced soon. So, listen, thanks for watching, everyone. Do check out esports-news.co.uk. I'll be trying to do these weekly interviews. Should have quite an interesting one next week. Can't say what it is yet, but on Twitch each week. So hopefully 4 or 5 o'clock-ish, I'll put updates in our on Twitch. But yeah, thanks again, everyone. I'll let you get back to eating your food, and good luck in the CSQs.
Appreciate it, Dom.
Thank you, man.
Anytime. All right, cheers, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.